That's Glenn Hansard, Lonely Deserter. Good morning, it's Rod MacBeth, the Tri-City Morning Show. There it is. The sound of the piper. Mike Chisholm, he's walked his way from Town Center Park in Coquitlam to here, over in the corner of St. John's and Morey, and up the 85 flights of stairs to our studios. I could let him do that all day long. Yeah. Mike Chisholm. How are you, Mike?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. A long walk from Town Center Park, Percy Perry Stadium to here with those pipes this morning.
Not bad.
Yeah. So the Scottish Games and, the BC Games and Scottish Festival is happening on June the 8th. 18th.
BC Highland Games and Scottish Festival.
What did I say?
June 18th.
Yeah, I messed it up, didn't I?
That's good enough.
Yeah, no, it's not good enough. This is fun. How many years now?
For the games?
Yes.
85th.
85th annual.
Now, that's 85 that we could count. I was actually trying to convince people at one point, let's make it 96. So that in 4 years we can have a great big centenary party.
That is amazing because, you've got the humor of a Scotsman, and you know that if you go to these games, you can have a good time.
Oh, absolutely. You know, one of the things that's great about it is families that have been coming back to the Highland Games for years and years and years, the same families. And for a lot of them, it's the weekend for some families to get together. They spend the day at the games, and then they go home and they have an evening gathering. And it's their opportunity to really enjoy their culture or those around it. It's not just about Scots, of course.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It is not just about Scots. It's about everybody. And that's the thing about the Scottish. They are all-inclusive.
Well,
we don't care who you are.
As long as you like bagpipes, of course. If you don't like bagpipes, you're in the wrong spot. But we have the best bagpipers playing. It's the very best in the Pacific Northwest, the absolute top, cream of the crop. So
and there's pipers here like Jack
Lee.
No, I'm thinking the Simon Fraser Pipe Band. They have won how many awards?
The Simon Fraser University Pipe Band has won the World Pipe Band Championships at the top level 6 times. And they've come second or third 15 times.
That is just simply amazing.
It is. It's phenomenal.
You listen to it, and the bagpipes, there's jokes about why do bagpipers walk when they play because they're trying to get away from the noise. But honest to God, it's one of the very most beautiful instruments, I think, just when it's done right and done properly.
I have an expression. There's nothing like a good bagpiper, but there's nothing like a bad one.
See, I've got a chanter at home, and I pick this up every now and then, and I try to figure it out. And I thought, no, I'll just leave it to the pros.
Well, anybody can learn. I mean, it's just, I say this to everybody, it's discipline. You need to do minimum 15 minutes, but you have to do it every single day, pretty much until...
And I'm taking distracted driving to a new level now. So on the Friday night of the BC Highland Games, you have got a professional bagpipe competition.
We do. Things are a little bit different this year. In the past, on Friday evening, we've had what's called the Pibroch competition. And Pibroch is the classical music of the bagpipes. And the competition on Friday evening is for the open players, the professional open top-level players in the Pacific Northwest. And they've always competed in this competition, which is a sanctioned event by the British Columbia Pipers Association. And that event has always taken place at Simon Fraser University. But it's been difficult to get to, and it's not been well publicized. I took over as the chair this year of the Games. And as a piper, of course, I have an affinity for the pipes, and I like to promote them. And I didn't like the fact that we were sort of hiding our best pipers up on the mountain. So we brought them back down to the field on a Friday evening for that competition in a tent that's properly built and set up so that we can truly enjoy this music. And we're having a reception beside it, so we'll have a brand new audience for these professional pipers. So that's the Friday evening. You could come down and you could hear the bagpipes at Percy Perry Stadium on Friday evening. And of course, which you haven't in the past. Mostly what you've heard is construction work.
Yes.
Everybody's putting up tables and chairs and tents. But this Friday, the 17th of June, there will be lots of music on the field.
Excellent. And this is fantastic. Actually, I don't leave town until this Saturday morning, so I can actually come down and enjoy some of this.
You certainly can. You absolutely. And now it is Pibroch. So it is a different form. You're not hearing when I marched in with the pipes here. I was playing a bright march that you can march to. In fact, it's one of the dances that the Highland dancers dance to. Glenda Rule Highlanders is what that was called, and that's what we call light music. And it's just light stuff that's fun to dance to or march. The pibroch is a much heavier, much more melodic, much more slower.
Like Amazing Grace.
It's Amazing Grace is a tune,
okay,
and is a song actually, and that was adapted for the bagpipes. Thank you, Black Watch, by the way, that was great. And they're the ones that made it popular. But the pibroch is a different kind of music. So if you're expecting the marches and strathspeys and reels and hornpipes and jigs, you won't hear them on Friday night. You hear the classical style.
Okay, that's cool. I'm looking forward to that. Now, you've got something else that is rather interesting this year, and I don't know if I'm nerdy enough for this. The Quiddich demonstration? Quiddich demonstration,
Quiddich. Yeah. I actually was reading the Tri-City News one day, and there was an article about the Tri-City Quiddich team. So I thought, wouldn't that be a great idea to have it on our field? Because I've seen at Highland Games on the East Coast, where I grew up, hurling matches.
Yes.
From northern Scotland, from the Highlands, they would come in and they would put on demonstration matches. So I said, well, maybe we can put on a Quidditch match. So I made some investigations and inquiries, and now we're having not only a demonstration match for about 45 minutes on the field between the members of the Tri-City Quidditch team and the UBC and the SFU team, but also we're having a Kidditch match.
Oh, neat.
Afterwards. Another team is the Vancouver Vipertooths. They're coming in to put on a Kidditch match. So children who like Harry Potter, who like the game of Quidditch, can try the game out. Now, the thing about Quidditch is that it's extremely popular. It's a very popular university game now, and it's played by both boys and girls. So it's a lot of fun. They have taken the rules of the Quidditch that they had in Harry Potter, minus the flying, of course. I mean, we haven't quite. I don't think they've quite figured that part out.
We can talk to my ex-wife. She's a pro at that one.
No comment. No comment there. But so the Quidditch has taken off in popularity. I contacted some of the players, and it's funny. They said to me that, in fact, in the United States at Highland Games, this is really taking off.
Wow.
So it was sort of a natural place for the players to come and play. It fits nicely in. It's a British-inspired game. It involves males and females. It's a lot of fun. It's non-violent. And I hopefully they'll all be in the beer garden afterwards.
they will indeed.
They are university students.
Neat. Now the Highland Games is another part of this fantastic day. A friend of mine, Brent Henley, went in as a rookie last year, and he had a fantastic time.
The heavy events.
Yeah. My kid is watching him throw the hammer up and over the rail, and I'm looking. I thought, oh my God, I'd kill myself if I did that.
I know.
It's amazing stuff.
It is amazing, but it's funny. The heavy events started way back. I mean, who was the strongest, and that's what the games are all about. The Highland Games started in the Highlands of Scotland to see who was the fastest runner, who would become the messenger for the chieftain or the chief, and it evolved into when they would have this competition. Okay, bring all your clans, bring your best runners. Well, they said, well, we'll bring our best pipers and our best dancers, and it evolved, and that's been going on for about 300-400 years,
yes,
maybe even longer. And it's continued in places all over the world. Wherever the Scots are, you'll find Highland Games. And I wanted to talk about the games that we have here. And I've been to, there's a big circuit here. Bellingham is this weekend. Victoria was the long weekend. There are Highland Games. And there's a number of them around. And we have one, the BC Highland Games, but it's here in Coquitlam, and we often call it the Coquitlam Games. And it's just such a great spot here. The city is so central to the whole lower mainland. It's easy to access for people that are coming from Alberta. They can fly to Abbotsford and drive in. And the facilities we have here in Coquitlam is second to none, in my opinion, and it's just really great. We have and the city is they seem to like us,
yeah,
and we like them. We like being here. It's a great spot.
We talked about Percy Perry Stadium and the town center park, and I didn't really take in the true awness of it until this past Wednesday when my kids were at the track and field meet, and then a friend of mine stopped there the other night just to go for a walk, and it is just an amazing piece of athletic structure in the middle of the city here, and it's great.
You know, what's funny is 10 years ago, before the field was before it was an artificial field.
Yes,
it was all grass, and we used to look north at the field, and at Burke Mountain in that area, and there's pretty much nothing but trees.
Right.
Well, now there's a huge residential development out there. And we went from being on basically the edge of the city to being in the center of the city. And we have there's not only Highland Games, but it's a festival that we can run smack in the middle of the city in a great facility. And it's not only, when we talk about Percy Perry Stadium, that's just part of the whole park. Like, we're looking at other areas of the park. The city is putting in that amphitheater, which is...
And you'll be using that next year, I'm pretty sure.
I'm very excited about that one. I think that was a brilliant idea. I can see, and the setting with the Lafarge Lake in the background, the SkyTrain, the Evergreen Line ending right there.
Well, yeah, and that'll be a bonus for you next year again. So attendance will be going up. But it's funny, you mentioned Lafarge Lake. I used to be one of the track announcers at the Westwood Speedway when I was up here. So I remember driving by Lafarge and seeing that, and then going farther up. And to look at it now as opposed to what it was then is just amazing.
It is, and the city's done some really great work, and I congratulate them for building that amphitheater, because that's going to redevelop that whole area. And I think that is, and I've walked through it with some of the executives on our committee. We're looking at possibly moving over to that area next year out of the stadium. It's a possibility. We're going to let the Canada Day celebrations go through, and I understand there's another event happening, festival. And so I think that whole town center area is going to develop into a really unique and fantastic area for community festivals and organizations to hold events. It has pathways and trees and shade and hills and natural grass, which means we can spike. we can put our tents up without having to worry about without weights, which is what we have to use now on Percy Perry Stadium, because it's an artificial field. So it's and the city's been very supportive of everything we've done over the past few years. We get a Spirit grant from the city, so thank you very much.
Well, that's nice. I mean, but look at
we haven't got it yet this year, but
we talk about economic impact, right? And you've got these people that are coming in for 2 days, pretty much, and a lot of tourists. So once again, economic impact. They're spending their money at the stores, and they're spending their money to get here.
Absolutely. We not only the competitors, which come from all over, and when they show up by the busload.
Yes.
We'll have 13 or 14 pipe bands this year, and about 7 of them are from outside the region. They're all staying in hotels here. They're all eating here. We have guests and tourists and other people who show up, and as I mentioned, they come from all over to be here for this weekend, because this is the big one. This is the big one in the Lower Mainland, the big Highland Games. And so we have everything we need here in Coquitlam. A great facility, lots of restaurants, lots of hotels, lots of facilities.
That's great.
It's a good spot. I'm really surprised, and given the size of Percy, the stadium and all, why there aren't more tournaments here.
Well, it's coming, because we've got the lacrosse, the World Men's Lacrosse Tournament under 19. That's coming up, and that's one of the big ones too.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So and there will be more. I can see soccer stuff and everything else. But the BC Highland Games, that is going to be a fantastic one. June the 18th.
June the 18th is the big day, and tickets are available online, bchighlandgames.com. We're selling tickets now. The events are going to happen. What's different this year is we're changing things around a bit, and moving things around on the field. And so when you walk in, you'll see some different things. We have a Highland Pavilion this year, which is a center of the culture of the Scots and our heritage here in British Columbia. And lots of presentations. If you want to learn how to make some haggis, if you want to learn how to make a kilt, or you want to learn, a lot of people will show up and they want to learn a little bit of something about the culture. And so we have presentations going on. But we also have a big grand finale at the end, not only ending up with the mass bands, which is what everybody likes. The finale is going to be great this year. It's very quick. It's going to be lots of flag waving and bagpipes, and it'll be
Great time. It
good
always
bang for your
is.
buck.
It always is. Mike Chisholm, the BC Highland Games and Scottish Festival. Maybe he'll pipe us out of here right after this commercial from Coquitlam.
Block parties.
It is 8:35. Thanks again to Mike Chisholm, the chair of the BC Highland Games and Scottish Festival, happening June 18th at Percy Perry Stadium, Town Centre Park in Coquitlam. And that's the 18th of June. The bagpipe competition is the 17th of June. Mike, thanks so much for being here. Do you want to play a couple little things as you march on out of here with the pipes? It's a lovely day when you hear the pipes a going.